G'day folks, finally I'm back out in my kayak doing a little bit of Murray cod fishing. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now in case you're wondering why you haven't seen my kayak a lot lately, I broke the roof racks on my car, and because I've got an old car, that meant I had to order some roof racks in. Nobody had any in stock, but I've got new roof racks. I'm back out in the kayak, and today I'm going to see if I can catch a Murray cod. Rightio, so you'll see I've got a rope tied to the front. Whenever you're kayak fishing in a river, it's always handy to have a rope. If you have to get out and just allow the kayak to float down through shallow water, it's always easier to do that if you can hold a rope instead of holding the kayak. That way you don't have to bend over. And if you have to get out to drag around trees, well, it's easier to drag a kayak up a hill and then lower it down a hill with a rope than it is to bend over and do it. In that front compartment down to that little lid, I've got a pair of socks, and I'll tell you why in a minute, and my headlamp is in there. I've got my fishing rod, my tackle box with heaps of fishing lures in it. I'm starting off with an Old Mate lure, my favourite green Old Mate. In here I've got my spare GoPro batteries, my asthma puffer, and then there's me. And over the back, I don't know how that's going to look, but you'll see an esky. You might be able to see a water bottle, a tin of Aerogard, and maybe even some gumboots at the back. Now, the reason I've got the socks is so that I can put them on if I want to wear the gumboots. That's just in case I decide I like a spot and I want to get out and walk the bank and flick lures for a little while. I don't want to walk through there in bare feet, so I've put my gumboots on for snake protection. I may not use them, but they're there if I decide to get out and explore. Anyway, let's go and see if I can catch fish. I have to tell you, the river looks good. Look at that, first cast, bang, straight into the mud. The river looks good, but my casting doesn't look all that good. That's a good sign, folks. Good sign. No, but seriously, the river is in very good shape. It's looking very good. It's higher than normal for this time of year, but it's the clarity's about how it should be. It's got a little bit of colour in it. I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it tonight. Got him! Look at that! Yes! Ooh, he's putting on a bit. Feels like a yellow belly a bit. Gee whiz, he's putting on a fair old song and dance. What have I got here? Is it a yellow? That's a nice Murray cod. Gee whiz, he'd have to be a legal fish. He's an absolute beautiful fish. There you go, folks. I'm on the board. Been here about 10 minutes. I'm already on the board. And I tell you what, when I say on the board, I'm on the board with a very nice Murray cod. Look at that! Oh wow! He's the biggest I've caught this season. He'd be nudging 60 centimetres, that fish, I reckon. You little ripper! Alright, I'll put him back and I'll unhook him. There we go, folks. That is a marvellous cod. That's more than likely going to be my biggest cod today, I reckon. That's got to be 60. That's got to be 60 centimetres. All right, mate. See you later, buddy. Something I've been meaning to do for a while is buy a pair of fish grips with a lanyard. I've broken the lanyard off these ones. When I'm walking the skinny water and I'm fishing the banks, it's not so much a problem. But in my kayak, I felt really uncomfortable holding that without a lanyard just then. Must remember, buy new fish grips. You little ripper. Quite a good start. Oh no, now I'm tangled around the rope. Taken on that green Old Mate that you can't, there it is. Taken on Old Faithful, the green and yellow, or fluorescent yellow Old Mate with the orange belly. You little beauty. Current time is 5:37. I caught that cod about 3:15, so it's been nearly 2.5 hours since I caught that fish, and I have not had a single touch. So I'm going to get out now, sit on my esky, have a cold drink, just catch me breath, and then I'm going to paddle back to the car, which is probably 1 kilometre or 2 upstream. It's nice open water. It's not too hard to paddle. It's just got a fair bit of current, so I'll take my time paddling upstream, and then I'll focus on the snags close to the car as the sun sets. What a beautiful place and what a beautiful day. Right, folks, smoko's over. It's time to get back in the saddle and go for a paddle. That rhymes. Watch how ungraceful I am at climbing into my kayak. Ready? And I'm in. Look at that. Very graceful and subtle. Just beautiful. Surely don't you know you can smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. There's that. There's something just there, I can see it. What is it? It's a sheep. There's a sheep just standing there. I kid you not. It's just standing dead still, so I don't notice it. You alright, mate? You alright, buddy? Look, it's a big ram. He's got a little doodle. And a big set of agates. You okay, mate? You're just minding your own business there, are you? Alright, I'll leave you alone. Maybe if I had the freedom to, I'd be sitting there chilling out of an evening as well. It's a nice place. Right. See you, mate. It's alright, mate. I pose no threat. I just come to say good day. See ya. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Magnificent. That was unexpected. Current time is 6:42 p.m. I've caught just the one fish and I've seen one ram with a little doodle, just like mine, and I've got less than 2 hours to catch another fish. But I pull my head in. Got him! Just kidding, I haven't really. I'm just practicing for when I do actually hook another fish. Not if, but when, because it is going to happen. Right, now the sun's not far off setting. Normally this time of night I go to a surface lure, but this time I've gone to Mr. Orange, my black and orange predator. I've caught a lot of cod on Mr. Orange over the last few years. Now the reason I've decided to go with Mr. Orange instead of a surface lure is because so far this season, from 5 fishing trips, I've only had one boof on a surface lure. That was the very first cod that I caught on opening morning. Was a, and I deleted the file on my memory card. It was about a 42 or 43 centimetre Murray cod on a Coolabung cod walker surface lure. Other than that, I have not had a single boof all season. So I'm going to go with the diver. Not quite far enough over, Robert, I don't think. Alright, that'll do. Got him! Yes! Yes, number 2. Wow, I caught my first cod at a bit after 3 o'clock. It's now 7:45. It's taken me almost 5 hours to hook fish number 2. He's not a real big fish. Oh, look at that. Lovely Murray cod. He's a nice fish. He's not as big as the first one. Look at that. That was my second cast with my predator, with Mr. Orange. I kid you not, I caught my first fish at about 3:15. It's now 7:45. That's 4.5 hours. Here's another. He'd be close to legal. Alright, come on, mate. Come on. Come on, buddy. Mr. Orange delivers the goods. Got to be careful of a number of things here. If he kicks it up on a treble to end up in my hand. And 2, I haven't got that lanyard on these lip grips, which is something I've got to remember to go and buy. There we go, folks. Oh yeah, he'd be a legal cod for sure. Yeah. He's not quite as big as the first one. I reckon I put the first one at 60. I reckon I'm putting that one there at around about 57. That's the iometer says 57. Lovely Murray cod. Mr. Orange, you beauty. What a lovely Murray cod. Wow. See you later, mate. It's been a long time between drinks, folks. 4.5 hours and about 2 kilometres of water paddled. I've had some amazing exercise. I've had a wonderful afternoon, but it's been very quiet. I've seen a sheep or a ram with a small doodle. It's just been a wonderful afternoon, and I've just caught cod number 2. Mr. Orange delivered on the second cast. Now I'll leave a link in the video description below to where you can find Mr. Orange or predator lures in general. They're made in Wangaratta out of these things. I'll leave a link in the video description below to where you can find them and the old mates. You beauty. I haven't caught many, but the average size has been good. They've both been, I reckon they've both been legal fish. If not, they've been very bloody close to it. Oh, got him on the top. Look at that. I haven't even got a surface lure on. Oh, I done him. Did you see that? Oh, how was that? I done him. I was just thinking, will I or won't I put a surface lure on? Will I or won't I? Then I cast my predator, my Mr. Orange. No, that was a terrible cast. I just had him sitting on the surface, and before I even clicked it into gear, poof. That's it, folks. I'm putting a surface lure on. What's the bet that if I put a surface lure on now, that will be the only boof that I get all night, and that won't be on a surface lure? Oh, got him on the top. Look at that. Oh, got him on the top. Look at that. Oh, got him on the top. Look at that.
Oh, got him on the top. Look at that.
Right, folks, having just been buffed on a diving lure that I hadn't even bloody started reeling in, I've decided to go with a surface lure, and I've gone the orange codger, the jointed codger Topwater. They're a great surface lure, these ones. I doubt very much whether that fish will come back. Ooh, really small boof. Oh, and again, he's a tiny fish. He's too small. I don't think he's going to take that. I just think he's too small. Two weeny little boofs in the one cast. They were tiny. I think he's a really small fish. Probably catch him now, he'll be about 80 pound. Two tiny little boofs in the one cast. Great to be getting boofs again. I've had a really slow start to the season as far as surface fishing is concerned. Oh, there he goes. Look at that tiny, weeny little splash. I've had a little Damiki air frog on, or even a little 70mm cooler bung. I might be able to catch that fish, but I've gone a bigger lure for a reason. That's because I'm down here in bigger water. Right, folks, it's that time of night where it's time to replace my GoPro with my O-Light and paddle back to the car. I've had a fantastic afternoon. It's not what you'd call red hot fishing, but I caught 3, lost 1 and had a couple of other boofs. As always, there'll be links to all the gear that I was using in the video description below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, why not give me a big fat thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.